GTA games might be some of the most insane and crazy games ever made. You have total freedom to basically do whatever you want, even if that includes running over pedestrians with your car or unleashing a storm of bullets into a crowd of people. You can rob banks, hijack planes, steal cars, beat people up, burn entire neighborhoods down, and cause absolute chaos. And that's just a small part of the game. GTA games are always packed full with activities that you can pursue outside of actual story missions. That is one of the things that makes them so special, because the side activities never feel forced on you. They never feel like a chore or a grind, unlike in most Ubisoft or Bethesda games, for example. The freedom you are given here is unique and special. Few other games will offer you that many opportunities to just let loose and do whatever you want. In fact, I'd say there are no other games that allow this on such a level. Not even the Red Dead Redemption series, although it's close. The beauty about this is that the game never forces you to do anything you don't want. You don't have to cause chaos and destroy the city. In fact, you can even roleplay as a model citizen and never even run a red light. The choice is yours on how you decide to spend your time playing GTA. Other games will force you to collect thousands of useless flowers or other collectibles for some virtual achievement that you often can't even use in-game. You're basically getting a participation trophy that will be stored in your library with zero actual use. But in Grand Theft Auto, things are different. Almost every side activity will actually have some sort of impact or influence on your character. If you shoot enough people as Michael, your weapon skills will improve, making you even deadlier. If you drive over enough pedestrians as Franklin, your driving skills will improve, making you an even better menace to society. If you play as Trevor, you will go insane. It's easy to see why so many people are trying to ban the GTA games. You are essentially playing a terror simulator. Most other games and developers are too afraid to offer this amount of freedom in their games. And that's what makes Rockstar Games stand out so much, among other things. They're not afraid to push their games to extremes and do whatever they want. It's one of the reasons why they are considered legendary and why they had so many issues with politicians and lawyers. Apart from being known as chaos simulators, the GTA games succeed in having an incredible amount of details. The attention to details that the developers poured into these games is astronomical and often overlooked or unnoticed by a lot of gamers. For example, when you exit your car, you can hear your engine cooling off. When you take a swim and leave the water, your clothes will be wet for a while and your character will take his time getting dry. If you wear a shirt, you can see sweat stains after a while. These are just a handful of examples. There are thousands of little and big things that Rockstar Games focused on by trying to make these worlds lived in and believable. They are masters in this, and there are very few other games within the same genre that had this much love and attention poured into them. The only other game I can think of is Mafia 2, which also offers an insane amount of details. It's no wonder why GTA games take so long to be developed and released, even before they discovered how much they can milk GTA Online. Rockstar Games had a few flops recently with disappointing remasters and their absolute disregard for Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online. It's honestly a shame how badly Red Dead Redemption 2 was treated. It is a legendary game and the work put into it can be felt and seen each time you play. Games like that are extremely rare and rightfully stand out due to them being groundbreaking and pushing the industry forward while also inspiring and influencing other titles and companies. Sure, it's not without flaws or issues, but no masterpiece is perfect. Despite these flaws, there are no other developers that strive for this level of details in their games. When you play a GTA game, you never feel like you're exploring a fake world. Sure, the parody aspect is always there, especially when you stop and read the billboards or listen to the radio. But even then, despite often being over the top and clear parodies of America, they never feel fake or artificial. There are games where the world is just that quiet and barely interacts with you, just feeling like a movie set that has nothing going on if you peek behind the curtain. Mafia 3 is a prime example. No matter what you do here, there will be few reactions to your actions and you basically can't do anything outside of story or side missions. You can't even buy clothes or guns on the store despite the game taking place in one of the biggest and most touristy cities in America. And it's just weird when you consider that Mafia 2, a game that was almost a decade old by the time Mafia 3 got released, offered more interactivity and opportunities. In GTA games you rarely have these problems, especially if you play the newer ones. With each release, Rockstar tries to give you as many choices as possible without it feeling like they are shoving it in your face. Just listening to the radio in GTA games is a unique experience because they offer amazing songs and hilarious talk shows or podcasts. Many consider Vice City to this day to have the best soundtrack out of any video game ever made, and rightfully so. Music and radio have always been important components within the Grand Theft Auto franchise. That's because listening to any radio station in any GTA game feels like you are actually listening to a real radio station. That might sound obvious and logical, but this franchise was the first that did something like that. Other games followed and some managed to come close, but none of them ever achieved the dedication Rockstar put into their stations. These stations often feature real musicians and celebrities as their hosts, often playing themselves while announcing the next song. This gives the whole thing an authenticity other games lack. It's also amazing that you can essentially spend days just driving around in GTA games listening to the radio. I'm sure everyone experienced the moment when you drive to your destination and just as you are about to get out, an amazing song starts playing and you just stay in the car or drive around Los Santos or Vice City until the song ends. Except it's worse in Vice City because after an amazing song ends there, the next one starts playing, making it really hard for you to leave your car. It's clear that Rockstar Games put a lot of work into making the worlds feel alive and believable. They even went ahead and gave players the opportunity to watch TV in GTA 4 and 5. You can literally just go into your apartment, turn on the TV and watch a bunch of fake ads and TV shows that are not only hilarious but also perfect parodies of real life shows. I mean, how many other games do you know that give you the opportunity to watch TV or listen to the radio stations for hours inside of their games? It's these things that add to immersion. This is why you never feel disconnected with the world. Everything feels natural, or as natural as can be in a video game. Most players probably don't even realize this because they simply don't pay enough attention to these things. This is what makes the GTA franchise and Rockstar Games so legendary. They are not afraid to push boundaries and go to lengths other developers refuse to go.